What's good, everybody? It's your boy Hamza from Ather Gaming, coming back to you guys with a brand new video. This time it's going to be my personal ban list prediction. If you guys want to find out any ways on how to support us, help us grow even more, check out all the links down below, guys. Let's try and get 5 likes on this video. Without further ado, let's get right into this. So guys, starting off with the ban list, the first card that I think is going to be banned, and I'm sure a lot of people can agree with me on it, is Imperial Order. I feel like this card should have been banned for a pretty long time, especially when we had Tri-Brigade format. I don't think it was the last format, maybe the format before that, correct me if I'm wrong. I feel like Imperial Order was just too sacky of a one-of. It literally auto wins against a lot of matchups. It literally rewards decks for setting up the board and then setting Imperial Order, flipping Imperial Order, and auto win the game, especially decks that need to see spell cards to break a board. For example, Invoke, I know it turns off Dark Ruler, it turns off Forbidden Droplets, it turns off a lot of other cards in the meta, and I feel like I feel like Imperial Order should definitely be forbidden. I mean, we literally saw it from the EUICS how sacky this card is. The guy was literally flipping it left, right, and center and auto winning. So yeah, I definitely feel like Imperial Order should be hit. Every deck is playing this card, like either main deck or side deck, so I feel like it's pretty insane in what it does. Imperial Order should definitely be absolutely on this ban list. There's not much else to say about that. Moving on to the next card that I think should be hit on the ban list is Artifact Scythe, for obvious reasons. Decks are summoning DP and then locking other decks out from playing, and there's OTK next turn. It falls in the same boat as Imperial Order, where just like it doesn't allow your opponent to play, and I feel like Konami just isn't a fan of those type of decks, so Konami is definitely going to be looking at Artifact Scythe to be banned. These are my suggestions or like my predictions. I feel like these are facts. Like I feel like these two cards for sure are going to be banned. Konami just going to ban Order because like the player base is literally talking about Imperial Order, and Scythe is going to be banned just so they don't need to do a direct hit to the Fusion Destiny package. They just need to hit Artifact Scythe. And then finally, the last card that I believe is going to be banned is Mystic Mind. This card literally should have been banned a long time ago, but it fell out of the format. But again, now more and more people are playing it to stun your opponent out, literally deck your opponent out in some instances. If not, they activate Mystic Mind, they stall you for a couple turns, they summon Zeus the board, and then combo through it. I feel like this falls in the same boat as these three cards right here. Sorry about that, I don't know, I can't speak English right now. These three cards right here, where it's like you can't play the game. Imperial Order, you can't play the game. Scythe, you can't play the game, and Mystic Mind, you cannot play the game. Especially if you don't play outs for Mystic Mind, you lose the game. And any good player with Mystic Mind will be able to punish you. Even if they don't deck you out, they can just OTK you through it. They don't need to be stubborn and then obviously just sit on the Mystic Mind. But I mean, sitting on the Mystic Mind is a win condition, so I feel like these three cards will be forbidden, and I'll explain why I don't think any other cards will be forbidden once we get onto the topic. Moving on to the limited cards, I do believe that Tri-Brigade Fractal will be limited. I feel like the variety that it gives the Tri-Brigade deck or the Lyra deck is a little bit too much. I feel like this is a good hit. Birds just came out, and I feel like they don't want to hit the deck right away or hit it too severely, so I feel like one Fractal, one Tanky will really hurt the deck and make you rely more on the bird cards, whereas now it's kind of like the bird cards plus the Tri-Brigade cards. It'll be the bird card, the bird card, the bird cards, and then the Tri-Brigade cards after, so it'll kind of curb the power level and bring it down just enough to compete with the other decks in the current format, because right now I feel like birds is just really ridiculously OP. And if you guys saw my top 5 meta decks, you guys would kind of know how I feel about the bird deck. So I feel like hitting Tri-Brigade Fractal 2-1 would be a pretty good and solid hit in my personal opinion. Moving on to another card that I believe is going to be hit is Magical Meltdown. I feel like Meltdown, this card has been on talks of the ban list. Like every single time there's a ban list prediction, people always think this is going to get hit. For me, it was between Magical Meltdown or Nadir Servant, to be honest, but I don't think Nadir Servant's going to get hit just because we're getting that Fallen of Albaz support, and I think they need to push it, so they're going to keep Nadir untouched. So I'm just going to put it right here. But I do think that Meltdown is going to get hit. Just too much consistency that deck has, being a one-card engine. I feel like they need to do something to stop that deck, and right now Meltdown is the best, because if you hit the Dogmatica cards, you're essentially hitting the Albaz cards before they come out, so I don't think Konami is going to do that. So again, I feel like Meltdown is going to go to 1. And then finally, I know you guys have noticed that I haven't put any Drytron hate on this list, but I do. So I think they're going to limit Alpha. I know a lot of people are saying that like Ben 10 is going to be banned, but I don't think that's the case, because if you ban Ben 10, you absolutely kill the deck, and right now Drytron just isn't performing to the level of what people want Ben 10 to get banned for. So I feel like hitting Alpha to 1 will force the deck to adapt its playstyle. They're going to have to put Beta in the deck. It's definitely going to lower the power level, especially with them losing Ava in the previous list. So I feel like Alpha going to 1 is better than banning Ben 10, just because it doesn't absolutely destroy the deck, but it just makes it a lot more difficult to play and a lot more rewarding to players who actually know what to do with it. So again, that's why I feel like Alpha will go to 1. And then moving on, I don't think there should be any cards semi-limited at all other than Malicious. I feel like this literally should be called like the malicious tier. It shouldn't be called anything else. Like no card should be semi-limited. And then moving on to unlimited, I think Darkness Metal is going to be unlimited just because of the errata and everything about that. It's not as OP as it used to be, so I think Darkness Metal can go ahead and get unlimited, followed by Skullcrobat Joker. I feel like they're slowly easing us more and more pendulum buffs, so I feel like Electromite will eventually get hit. Don't quote me on it, but I think Electromite will eventually come back to 1, and they'll be able to push pendulums up and over, and it really feels like they're setting up a new pendulum archetype. So I feel like easing Joker in, and then we saw like that other pendulum again card as well, so I think there's a lot of new hints towards pendulums and possibly coming back, so maybe slowly easing the pendulum cards back into the meta to see how they fare without Electromite, and then giving us Electromite is the right way to do it. And then moving on to potentially hit and not likely, so this is what I was saying that I'll talk more about. So personally speaking, I think that Winda, again, you guys can see my Invoke Dogmatica Shaddoll. I absolutely hate this deck, but again, I don't think Winda is going to get hit. This also goes hand in hand with Nadir Servant, so technically if they hit Winda, it'll force them to play the Albaz engine and not the Shaddoll engine. I don't know if you guys know too much about the deck. I can't do like a little showcase on the deck. I know my brother, he really likes like the whole Despia Albaz little thing, so I can get him to showcase you guys what it's actually going to do. But I do feel like Winda potentially getting hit is good, because now you're going to have to rely on other win cons, whereas now it's kind of like protect the Winda, protect the castle, and then stun your opponent out from winning the game. I know Winda falls into the same category as like your opponent can't play the game, but I just don't think right now it's seeing enough success to warrant a Winda ban. Possibly in previous formats, Winda could have been hit, but just not right now. I mean, I know when you summon Winda, you win the game, literally. You get the pun. But I just don't think that it's going to get hit. Following on to like another card is Protoss. So again, I do think that Protoss potentially could be forbidden in the upcoming ban list, but I feel like Sword Soul, it you know what I mean? Like it's just not there yet. Like it just hasn't really done enough. I know we've seen like the 13 out of 32 in the NA/YCS, so maybe they might hit the card. But I feel like Protoss right now, it's the only reason why Sword Soul is really actually a better deck than it actually is, because if not, Sword Soul will be like a pretty fair deck, maybe even a below average deck. This is biasly speaking as well. Like I do feel like Protoss won't get hit on this ban list. Possibly the next ban list, Protoss will get hit to force Sword Soul to find its own niche. But again, Protoss and Winda are the exact same thing, where it's like kind of an FTK board, but it's not really right now. And who knows in the next coming formats. And then moving on to like the last engine that I think may or may not get hit is Fusion Destiny. So people have been talking about the Fusion Destiny engine. I think eventually this card will be limited. I know that OCG banned this. I think that was a little crazy. I think that for sure this card will go to 1, so like you don't need to hit Anaconda. I know I see a lot of Anaconda bans as well, but I feel like just putting this card to 1 will overall curb the level of certain decks down. So for example, like Sky Striker plays this. I know there are a lot of DPE decks like PK and Drytron. They all play like 3 of this card, so I think that putting it to 1 will force the deck to have to go to an Anaconda route instead of just comboing then activating Fusion Destiny. And again, it doesn't absolutely hurt the heroes as well. You can make an argument for Anaconda because it is splashable as well, but I just don't think that it'll go. And then right now, again, we saw the OTS Ulti printings. I don't think Fusion Destiny will get hit. If they do end up making a hit to the engine, it'll be probably with Celestial. I think they banned Celestial, and then what this makes is it makes the engine a lot less powerful, just because you can't summon back DP and get the draw 2, which is honestly like one of the main issues with the deck. I know that DP is OP as well because he keeps coming back and popping, but one of the main issues with the deck is they go Fusion Destiny, they dump those cards, they summon DP, they pop a card, they usually have no follow-up, but then Celestial gives them the follow-up. So I think Celestial should be higher on the priority list than Fusion Destiny. But I do think that yeah, I think that this is a pretty solid list. I know I don't have Benton on this, but I don't think Benton's gonna get hit. I don't think any other cards, to be honest, will get hit. I know I saw Lithium do like the Featherstorm card, but I just don't think that card's good enough. It's a non-searchable 3 of cards, so if you draw it. Again, Nadir can eventually get hit, but just not right now. Same with the Winda. I just don't think any of these cards will potentially get hit. But yeah, guys. Oh yeah, and Harp Horror. I don't think Harp Horror is gonna come back for a pretty long time, to be honest. But yeah, guys. So this was my ban list. Please let me know what you guys think down below as well. So guys, that was the end of the video. If you guys liked the video, please go ahead and leave a like on the video. Comment what you guys want to see next. And my name's Hamza, and like I always say, keep on shining, never give on your dreams. Peace.